advocate of enabling women to gain financial independence. She is the founder of two trailblazing organizations, Think Hall Training and Consultancy, through which she strives to create working professionals with the practical skills, knowledge in retail industry. WEFT Women Entrepreneurs Foundation, a not-for-profit body that supports building women entrepreneurs in India. So with this profile, I would like to welcome you and floor is yours. Thank you.
Dear Honorable Chair, Mr. Ravi Gupta ji and our eminent guest, our honorable city councillors and all the honorable delegates over there. I'm feeling very privileged and honored to come here and talk today in front of all of you. And today I'm going to talk not as somebody who's eminent or dignitary, but on behalf of the citizen of India and specifically a woman citizen of India on what exactly is currently happening. And to start off with, I do have a presentation as well, and we got a lot of data in the morning to see where we are heading towards in terms of gender mainstreaming. But what I would like to start for today's conversation is that what happened exactly to me and how I got this motivation of becoming an entrepreneur, and what is the story behind Think Hall and WEFT. So when I finished my post-graduation, like any parents would aspire, I got into a job, and the companies that I was working for were very sought-after companies. It was one of the best employers like Nike and Apple. These are the companies that I was working for. I had a great career to myself as well, but that is where I thought that probably this is the time that you have to step out and do something for yourself. And Think Hall was born. Think Hall was only into skill development, and we were trying to build, create an ecosystem where unemployed youth can get their required skills and then get jobs as well. So we were able to successfully do that. But as a woman entrepreneur, I faced a lot of issues, a lot of situations, a lot of places where hindrances were put in place, and it was not an easy way to go forward. That is when the thought process came that not just me, there are many other women like myself that are looking for similar kind of path, and that is when WEFT was born. WEFT stands for Women Entrepreneurs for Transformation. It's a not-for-profit body where we support women entrepreneurs. With this change bringing in, WEFT was born only in 2018. Now we have got more than 1,000 women entrepreneurs in part of this platform. And thank you so much for that. And we are also supporting them not just for the recognition and the promotions that they seek for in terms of business development. We are also building an investor consortium who are looking forward to invest into these women and build a better gender mainstreaming within their organizations as well. Apart from that, in Think Hall, we have also made several changes which was earlier not acceptable in the corporate landscape of India. We started bringing in women, mothers who have left their jobs and are looking for restarting their careers. So we started employing those women with flexi work hours as well as work from home kind of options, and the change that we saw after we brought in this policy in our company was amazing. The talent that was sitting at home, once you start utilizing them, you can do wonders. And that is how Think Hall is also been generating quite a good revenue. We are profit is positive now, and recently we have been shortlisted as the top 5 startups in diversity, and this is the second year in a row that we have done that. So amazing things happen when women are there, and that is what I'm going to talk about today. When you talk about gender mainstreaming, what exactly it is an approach where you're creating policy keeping both men as well as women thought process in mind. And in the morning, somebody was talking about how women and men brain work very differently. So at one side of it, when you have got very practical approach, the other side of it is where you have got amazing spatial memory, amazing memory to keep in hand. That is what women and men bring together. And whenever the diversity and inclusion is there in your policy making, in your idea creation, that is when you will be making a powerful idea. Without inclusivity, without diversity, none of the ideas, none of the teams could be creating profitable, powerful things in hand. So that is why gender mainstreaming is very important. But let's look at what is the current scenario. As per the World Economic Forum, they have reacted. The way gender mainstreaming has been going on in the world, we would take 257 years to bring that 50-50 provision, to actually have a right, meaningful gender mainstreaming in place. That's the kind of amount of work that we need to increase right now. And the workplace workplace gap is also pretty huge. If you look at some of the numbers that I have shared here with you, you can see that 14% is the women representation now across the world in terms of leadership in startups. We have got only 18% top leadership led by women and 36% in the rest of them. What we need to understand is that why this thing is happening. And Indian scenario is also not very different. As far as India is concerned, we are 112th rank out of 153 countries in 2020. And something is going drastically wrong because we have slipped 4 ranks down in this comparison. And we are going to take huge round of policy making changes, etc., to make sure that these women come to workforce and they are brought back. Just clearly look at it. We are almost 50% of the population. Out of this 50% population, most of us are educated women. And what happens actually at the workplace, it's very interesting to see why this gender gap exists. For a man, for instance, his work life, if I see, he will be starting to work somewhere at 2023 or so, and then move on for the next 5 years to a mid-management level or a senior management level, and by the time he has completed his 15 to 20 years, he would be at the top level management, right? That's as simple as that. But if you look at a woman's career life cycle, once she starts at 2023, by the time she has turned 30 or 35 years, that is when the marriage and the child comes into play. This is where the talent leak is happening. And they give up their careers, they give up their jobs and take rest at home. Bringing them back to work is also not happening. It is very difficult because there is a skill gap. The dynamics of the industries would have changed by the time they try to get back to job also. They feel that they are lagging behind. There is no opportunity that is given to them to move to the top level. There is no opportunity that is given to them thinking that someday they will be holding back themselves and go out and start looking at their firms rather than believing in their careers and moving to the top level. This is the current scenario. That is why there is a talent leakage in the pipeline with our women. And look at the potential that we are talking about. If I look at the entrepreneurship scenario, the startup landscape of India, that is also very interesting to see because many women are starting very young. And we have a huge startup gap right now. There is no gender diversity at all in the startup landscape. If we see, there's a huge gap right now that is existing. Almost 8 million women are there in startup landscape versus 55 million men who are leading the startups right now.
That's a huge gap right now. What are these women doing? It's very important to understand. The women also who are starting up, they also after starting very young, they move to a level at least when they will start earning a revenue of 10 lakh or so annually, and they will be creating 1 or 2 jobs only. And post that, there would be a lull. They are self-satisfied. They think that they are doing something good and the ambitions are not big. They will not be thinking around creating more job opportunity. They will not be thinking about going out and getting more investment and probably create more revenue generation. This is where the problem lies. And we have also talked about that why these things are happening. The reasons
for this is the lack of support and infrastructure that we have right now for the women. The lack of security at the workplace. Nowadays, many of you would have heard about the word POSH. POSH is a policy that is being brought in. It stands for Prevention of Sexual Harassment. But if you look at the stats, it's pretty amazing to see, because the number of sexual harassment cases that are right now existing with the startup as well as corporate ecosystem, it's shocking. And it is something that needs to be brought into attention immediately. The social support and cultural biasness is also something that is holding back women a lot. How many of you here, I can see representation of a lot of women from different countries over here. How many of you will believe that your husband, the man who's the earning breadwinner, can stay back at home and look at the household chores, whereas you can go out and start working? How many of you can think about that? I can see one hand only right now. This is the biasness right now that is existing right now, because it is not just the biasness towards women. We have been talking about women continuously. Think it from a man's perspective. Raviji, if we will ask you to stay back home and take care of your kids and children and household chores, versus your wife should go out and work, he will have a huge problem, because there will be 10 eyes in front of him who will be looking at him and thinking that he is not doing enough. That is the biasness that we have. We do not think of men as first caregivers of the child or house caregivers. This is the biasness that needs to be removed. As far as the psychological factors, there are also women versus man. If you see, a man, even if they are 3% sure that they are going to finish the job, they will jump for it and they will say that, okay, I can do this job. Versus women, they need to be 99.98% sure that they will finish this job, then only they will move towards it. Not beyond that. Their ambitions are pretty limited. They think that if I am doing so much, I am doing this much. This much is how they will be talking about. And they are pretty self-satisfied. I've known many women entrepreneurs, and trust me, even if they are selling achar or pappers, they will try to sell it within their community. They will not go beyond it. They will not think about creating a brand name. They will not think about creating an international brand name and reach out to different people through, although we have different technologies, online support, etc. available right now for any kind of this kind of entrepreneurship. They will not make it big. These are the psychological factors that are holding us women back. And of course, the lack of policies and laws that we have, which I'm going to dwell more upon a little bit. It is time for change and to take action. As far as infrastructure is concerned, we definitely need to promote a lot of diversity and inclusivity, but not as just one of the parameters or one of the chapters in your HR policy, but as a law. Once the diversity and inclusion is added to your company policies as a law, that is when the differences will start coming in. And trust me on this, companies which have built this on a regular basis, they have seen much better successes than companies which are working without diversity and inclusions. So this is a must-have. If we want India to progress, if we want economies to grow, we need to bring in diversity and inclusion in. We have to provide daycare, childbirth support for women at work.
We have recently seen that from maternity leave of 3 months has moved to 26 weeks. That's a great progress. But what is the private companies doing about it? Are they providing the rightful daycare services, etc., or not? Are they able to provide the right environment for the support of the women who can return back to work after that 26th week or not? My time is up, so I'm going to wrap it very, very quickly. We definitely need to give equal opportunities for all the genders, and not just from the point of view of them supporting to move to the leadership level, reskilling programs for women returnees. Programs where there is no gender pay gap, those are the things that should be included as part of the law. Security is very important, and we've already spoken about PASH, and we need to provide a great infrastructure for women to enable them to work at night shifts also. Many women stay back because they are not able to work at late hours, so there should be provisions that should be made for the women to stay back at late hours and work as per their potential like men do. Social support is very, very important, and we have seen how biasness in the families within ourselves have stopped back women to take the leadership roles. Many women think that if I earn more than my husband, it is going to break the marriages and it is not going to be supportive. These are the instances that we have heard, and real life instances. So we have to overcome that thought and think about how we can better it up, of course. There has to be an open support in the household chores for the women as well. How many of you go back home and instead of making a tea, you are offered a tea actually? These are the changes that will be brought about. Then only things will move to a better perspective. Of course, you should build a big support in the menstruating periods time. And as far as what I'll do in the interest of time, let's wrap it up with just one very important law that I want to emphasize upon. And this is a case study that we did in New Zealand. There's a very, very interesting article that I read about the current Prime Minister of New Zealand, Ms. Jessica Ardern. She brought in parental leaves instead of maternity leaves, which actually provided a provision of first caregiver to take care of the child and avail that so-called maternity leave. So parental leave is something that should be brought about. What it did to New Zealand was that there is a great success right now in terms of women entrepreneurship landscape. Right now it is one of the 4th ranking companies in terms of women leadership representation. Not only that, it has now made that mindset clear that a man can go back and take care of the child as well. It need not be just a woman. That has brought amazing changes in the cultural, psychological, as well as differences you can see very well. And it is one of the growing economies, very similar to what India is currently working towards. And I think that we have got great policy sharing over here as well with different countries, which we should learn. At the end of it, we would like to sum up that we are the mothers, we are the creators of life. If we are creating lives, we should be looking forward for a better tomorrow for our children. And we can do it from today, from your households, from your mindset change. So if you believe in gender mainstreaming, start it today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Iti. And I think because you asked me questions, I should answer you also. So because see, I have a daughter of 6 years, 6.5 years, and maybe you can call my wife also. So when she born, so almost 2 years. So after 6 months, my wife got the job. I mean, she was in job, and she started going back to office after 6 months. And I'm the one who actually supported her. I said I'll take care of my daughter as well. And I think for almost 2 years, I'm the one who actually took care of my daughters.
Yes.
Still, I am managing.
He for she.
See.
He for she. He for she.
Okay.
Content.
So almost till date now also, though I have a lot of traveling in my project and my work, but still we both are managing very well. So in the first month, in the first week of month, we generally share our travel plan to each other, so that we should not match, we should not clash. And that's the reason I think I agree with that's all the psychological barriers. So still my daughter is very close to me. If my mother, if his mother travels, he doesn't care. But if I travel, he always asks me when Papa is coming. So I think till that I'm managing, and I'm very happy to say that yeah. So agree with you. There are a lot of psychological barriers, and if we both agree, and I think will be very, I think the better way. So with this, I'll just now move to my next panelist. She's one of the, I think the oldest member of AILSE.